Good morning, everyone. Our service is going to start in about 3 minutes, and so now would be a great time to fill out the cards in front of you that say joys, sorrows, and concerns. If you have such things in your life, you can bring it up to Bianca or myself. That's Bianca standing up. Today's service is an all-ages service. Once a month, we plan a special service that is appropriate for the older children and teenagers to stay with us. So if you have a younger child, the nursery is open. You can bring them there now, or you can bring them there later during the Greet Our Neighbor part is a good time to do that. Masks are welcome, and they're available at both entrances, but they are not mandatory. If you have any other access need, please talk to our wonderful greeters who are doing an extra job this morning. They are going to be collecting the offering, but also distributing stones, because we have a stone theme. You each get to keep a stone if you wish. What else is there? Bathroom here, which is a gender-free bathroom. Bathrooms out there are gendered bathrooms. There's like 9 bathrooms in the building, so you can find a bathroom if you just keep walking. I'm glad you're here. Good morning. Do you have any?
Just about. Are the microphones on? They are. Almost. Are you ready? ready, Nikki? All right. We're going to play a song by John Fogerty called Don't You Wish It Was True. Nikki, why don't you count us in? Oh.
Thank you. Testing, testing.
1, 2. Count us in.
1, 2, 3, 4. I dreamed I walked into heaven just the other night. There was so much beauty, so much light.
Don't you wish it was true? Don't you wish it was true?
An angel took my hand, said you don't have to hurry. Got all the time in the world, don't worry. Don't you wish it was true?
Don't you wish it was true?
But if tomorrow everybody was your friend, anyone could take you in, no matter what or where you've been. But if tomorrow everybody had enough, the world wasn't quite so rough. Lord, don't you wish it was true? You said the world's gonna change and it's starting today. There'll be no more armies, no more hate. Don't you wish it was true? Don't you wish it was true? And all the little children who live happily, they'll be singing in laughter, sweet harmony. Don't you wish it was true? Don't you wish it was true? But if tomorrow everybody under the sun was happy just living as one, no borders or battles to be won. But if tomorrow everybody was your friend, happiness would never end. Lord, don't you wish it was true?
All right.
But if tomorrow everybody under the sun was happy just living as one, no borders or battles to be won. But if tomorrow everybody was your friend,
Happiness would never end.
Lord, don't you wish it was true? Thank you. That was our sound check. And thank you, Ben, for being on percussion.
Thank you so much. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome here in the sanctuary. Welcome online to the Unitarian Universalist Church of St. Petersburg. We're on the unceded ancestral lands of the Tocobaga and Seminole indigenous Americans. This week was Yom HaShoah, the week where our community remembers the Holocaust, and I was honored to participate in the Holocaust Museum's reading of the names, along with many other worship leaders from our community. My name is Ben. My pronouns are he and they, and I am excited for today's worship service. It's called Touchstones for healing, for troubling times. You already heard the ladies of Uke. They are going to be performing many times this morning. I'm so excited to have you here, the ladies of Uke. Thank you for being here. Our bell choir will be here, and I can't find my chime, so I borrowed Michael's deep bell to do the chime, but I will return it. And today's worship associate is Bianca Hatton.
Hello, everyone. Hi. Ooh. Oh. Oh, thank you for that. Hello, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, you've heard me in the balcony. My name is Bianca. My pronouns are she, her. So if you would like a place where we believe that Diversity, equity, and inclusion are beauty and strength. And I have good news for you. You have found your church home.
Thanks, Bianca. 3 announcements today. Number 1, if you liked the ladies of uke, you should take a class on how to play the ukulele. It's today at 1 o'clock in Conway North. They're starting at 1 to give you time to get lunch and come back. All the tickets go to support UU St. Pete.
I thought that was a wonderful advertisement, by the way. Also, I wanted to mention before we go any further that Reverend Ben did mention that this is
It is an all ages service.
all ages service, so you will see children hanging around for the entire service. They are welcome and they are invited to participate. Now, let me see if I can find my place.
Top of page 3.
Top of page 3. Please join us here in the sanctuary from noon to 2, where Ben will be teaching a class on the history of Unitarian Universalism. This class counts as one of the 2 required new member classes, but you don't have to become a member just to take the class, so you could still come and learn with us.
Finally, the worship services music team will meet after service today for their monthly planning. You'll get to meet with Liam, our amazing music coordinator and pianist. If you're interested, yeah, there's Liam. If you're interested in supporting music at the church, including its potential hymn leaders, please attend. It's right in the Gilmore Library.
And please read the rest of your announcements in the order of service, the weekly newsletter, and also on the TV here in Gilmore Hall during coffee hour.
Now, as Unitarian Universalists, we are a people of diverse beliefs, and I'll get more into that in a minute. But we do share a common faith that every person is worthy of love, and every being is worthy of love, that what we do in this world matters, and that we're connected. We're connected to one another, and we're connected to the earth. So whoever you are and wherever you are on your journey, you are welcome here.
Allow me to give a special welcome to any newcomers. If you are new to UU St. Pete, or even relatively new, can you give us a wave? Hello. And if you'd like, you can briefly introduce yourself, and Reverend Ben will bring the microphone to you so that those who are watching on YouTube can hear what you're saying. But no pressure, you don't have to do that. You're under no obligation to say anything, but if you're willing, we would love to hear from you.
It's hard to go. I'm trying not to meet the
Don't-
eyes
yeah,
of
don't make
anyone
eye
who
contact.
waved. I'm
That's
like, I'm
weird,
not going to
yeah.
look at anyone who just waved. 2 hands back here.
Oh, that's my friend Ruby.
Which hand wants to go first? Ruby, you want to say something?
Yeah.
What do you want to say, honey?
I'm Ruby.
You're Ruby. Nice to meet you, Ruby. Can we meet your mom too? All right.
Hi, I'm Katie Bray. Nice to see everyone again. This is our second time here, so.
Welcome.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming, Ruby.
Hi, my name's Isabel. Oh, this one work better? Okay. Hi, I'm Isabel, first time here. Local to St. Pete only for the last couple years, but still looking for community, so excited to be here.
Hi, Isabel.
Someone grab me.
Liam raised his hand.
Oh, Liam raised his hand. Where's Liam? Liam raised his hand.
Liam, did you
Did you in fact raise your hand?
Of course I'm new, but
Hi. No. Okay, that's it.
Okay, thank you for sharing, and thanks for silencing your phones. Regarding masks, we encourage you to wear one as you're comfortable. Now it's time for us to turn and greet our neighbors. You can say hello, you can smile, or my favorite, you can give a wink. A wink is like a $2 bill. When you get one, you just don't know what to do with it. So take a minute, but if you're gonna hug or shake hands, make sure you get permission.
Please rise as you're willing and able for our first hymn. It's Gonna Lay Down My Sword and Shield, number 162 in the gray hymnals. But you probably know the words.
Is there something special to turn these on? How do you turn them back on?
Oh, I'll be right there.
This is more technical than I'm used to. Mine's got a regular old switch. Oh, you just press it. Check, check. Yeah, it's on. Before we start, another small commercial. If you come to the ukulele lesson, we have 2 beach ukuleles, which will be door prizes. So hopefully, oh, there's also homemade oatmeal cookies. I know. We got a lot to compete with today. You ready, Nikki?
Ready.
Wait, I'm not.
I was born ready.
All right, count us in, please.
Oh, wait. I don't have any time on this song. They're all 2.5 minutes, right?
Sure. Go.
1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna lay down my sword and shield
Down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside, gonna lay down my sword and shield. Down by the riverside, gonna study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. Gonna lay down my burden down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. Gonna lay down my burden down by the riverside. Don't study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. Gonna shake hands with everyone, everywhere I roam, everywhere I roam, everywhere I roam. Gonna shake hands around the world, everywhere I roam. Gonna study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more.
Please remain standing for a moment as we light our chalice. This flaming chalice is a reminder that we choose to focus here today, and this time is sacred. Do we have a chalice lighter?
We do. It's Elle. Hi,
Oh,
Elle.
thank you. Say your name again, sorry. When Elle lights our chalice, I invite you to say our covenant out loud. The words can be found in your programs. Feel free to follow along with 2 hand movements if you want to do hand to heart, and then hands reaching out like you're serving. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek truth in love, and to help one another. Thank you, Elle. You may be seated. Except for kids who are invited to come forward for our time for all ages. Anyone want to come forward for the story? Thank you. Cool. You have a seat here. Awesome. Thank you, thank you. I'm going to stand over here for a sec, but I'll come back. You can come up, Rose, if you want. You want to sit by your new friend? Ruby? Thank you, honey. This is your spot right there. This one has lower batteries, so I'm going to swap it out with the one that has higher batteries. It's actually charged. Good, I'm glad. So the worship, whoa, that's louder too. The worship service today is about stones. So this is about a stone. The story is called Lubna's Pebble. And I'm going to play the part of Lubna. And Bianca is going to play the part of my mom. Now, Lubna, it's a scary story at first, but I promise it gets better. You ready? Scary part is Lubna and his mom had to leave their homes, had to leave their country. And they were on a boat with lots of other people cramped together. It was wet, it was cold, and they were scared. But finally, the boat came to a beach. The beach is over here. We're here at the beach, and we're off the boat. Lubna and his mom had been kind of seasick, so they were so happy to see the beach. And Lubna looked down, and there on the beach was what? A pebble. And Lubna just kind of loved this pebble and also somehow had a Sharpie. So what Lubna did was she drew a little smiley face on the pebble. Like that. A smiley face because she felt like she had made her first friend in her new home. So then Lubna's mom, we can't cross, we'll cross in front of them. Lubna's mom and she went to their new tent that they had been assigned, that somebody had donated for them. And they lived in this tent, and it was a nice tent. It was a warm tent, and there were other kids around. And some of the kids were playing, and they showed Lubna where to play and the fun places to go on the camp where they were living in the tents. Most of the kids were fun, but there was one that was kind of shy and nervous and, really wasn't joining in on the fun. And Lubna noticed this boy, and she left the new friends and she went up to the boy and she said hi, and she and the boy ended up getting to know each other, and they became friends. And then the boy, whose name was Liam, joined in the playing, and they played and they had fun, and Lubna showed Liam all the fun places that she had found. And months passed, and one day Lubna's mom came in with some great news, and she said, hey, we have a new home. We don't have to live here in the camp anymore in the tents. They found a place for us with a home. And Lubna was really excited and couldn't wait to go get to the new home. Except, what was she going to do with her new friend? She said, Mom, can we bring Liam? Can Liam and his family come with us? And Mama said, no, there's only room for us. And Liam has to stay with his family in the camp. And Lubna didn't want to know what to do. She wanted to go with her mom to the new home, but she wanted to not leave Liam. And then she had an idea. This stone that she had made to be her first friend, she thought she'd leave that with Liam. So she went and she told Liam where she was going and said she would miss him, and said, whenever you look at this stone, you think of me and you know that I love you and that I'm your friend. So every time Liam looked at that stone, it wasn't just a stone to him, it was a reminder of his friend. And that is the lesson, that sometimes small things can remind us of people, can remind us of other things. Thank you so much for listening.
We come to the time in our worship service for joys, sorrows, and concerns.
I did it.
For those of you on YouTube Live and are not in this room, your presence is still felt. Please type your joys and sorrows or concerns into the text chat. If you have a joy, sorrow, or concern to submit during the week, please write Reverend Ben at minister@uustpete.org.
Now, right now, we're going to have someone put the stones in the water. Do we
It's
have
my friend Ruby.
Oh, great. Nice.
Ruby's the star of the show today.
Ruby's going to put the stones in the water each time we say something. And there's still a few seconds to bring up cards if you're still in the middle of filling them out.
First, from Trish Birch. Trish says, a stone of sorrow for my granddaughter Daisy B., who would have celebrated her 6th birthday this week. She was a gift to everyone who knew and loved her. We miss her every day.
Yep. Now, each week we celebrate an individual or a team who has done extraordinary work towards our church's mission. And this week we'd like to stone of joy both for our greeters, who you've already seen greeting, and they're going to be bringing around stones, and also the folks who are answering the door after we lock the doors at 10:45. Now, Ross is doing that right now, and I saw him kind of running back and forth. But when he comes back, maybe we can thank him. Cynthia has done this in the past as well. Thank you, Cynthia.
A stone of sorrow from Danny Bly. This week, Robert Kennedy said that he's looking for a cure for autism and wants to make a national registry of autistic people. A stone of concern for the harmful effects of weaponized ignorance.
Yeah, and then a second stone of loving care for all the neurodivergent people who keep being confronted by harmful misinformation. Danny says, you are beautiful, and I agree. You are beautiful and precious and valid, and you are worthy of love. And finally, a third stone in hopes that Robert Kennedy finds a cure for his wrong opinions.
A stone of concern for Carmina Day, who broke her arm while cleaning up after Mingle on Friday night. We hope you're feeling better, Carmina.
And then Carmina said to do a stone of joy because she said she had a wonderful time at that Mingle with that one exception. And Carmina wants me to say that everyone around her took such good care of her that she felt loved, she felt held.
A stone of sorrow for Heidi Sanchez Tejeda, a Tampa resident who showed up to her ICE appointment and was summarily deported back to Cuba. Heidi is married to an American citizen, has no criminal background, and leaves behind a newborn baby that she was nursing.
Yeah, and this is one but many such stories of people being deported by our administration. And a stone of sorrow on the loss of Pope Francis, who once said, migrants and refugees are not the pawns on the chessboard of humanity. They are children, women, and men who leave or are forced to leave their homes.
A stone of concern from Sandra Moss. My place of employment, Fairwinds Treatment Center, burned down last Sunday, and it is unknown when or if it will reopen.
A stone of concern from Kimberly. The National Education Association is having a national day of protest on May 1st. They would like their members and supporters to text Mayday to 48744 on May 1st. More info is at nea.org/Mayday Toolkit. And she says, just found this. To find a protest opportunity on May 1st, go to maydaystrong.org. Events are in Seminole, St. Petersburg, Clearwater, and Newport Richey. And UU St. Pete is co-sponsoring the May Day Rush Hour Visibility Action. So I will be there this Thursday on May 1st from 4:30 to 6. And she's right, you can find the info there.
A stone of joy from Jane and Mason. Our granddaughter Lucy has just gotten an internship in Boston due to a connection made here at UU St. Pete. Yay.
That's great. And then a stone of joy from Steve Sanderson. I'm looking for Steve. And he's here somewhere. Oh,
Hey,
there he is.
Steve.
And Steve says Linda came through her surgery with flying colors, and the recovery process is going well. That's wonderful to hear, Steve.
And finally, we have a stone of concern from Earl Waters. A very close friend has been diagnosed with liver cancer. Please send positive energy to Donna. And my husband Ron is in the hospital with a possible stroke. Please send him positive energy and prayers.
Let's have a round of applause for our stone putters. Thank you so much for that. You did great.
Good job, Ruby.
Now what we do, we do one more. We do one more at the end. So you do one more, and this one is for all the joys, sorrows, and concerns that remain in our hearts. Because sometimes they're too tender to be spoken out loud, but we still hold them. The mystery is that, yes, thank you. This is the mystery, that we're connected even when we feel apart. So let's rejoice in this community that makes of the many one, and let's take about a minute of silence together. Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me. Now, once again, this week's responsive reading comes from the Community Covenant. The words can be found in your order of service.
Participants in the Unitarian Universalist Church of St. Petersburg community come together out of a common belief
that what we do in this world matters. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law. Since a healthy and vibrant community depends upon our adherence to a common congregational covenant, we expect all community participants to commit to the following practices as part of our great covenant.
To dwell together in peace, I will celebrate diversity, inclusivity, and opportunities to grow and learn. I will strive to experience myself and others, communities members, as multidimensional individuals, complex and filled with value.
I will not speak to anyone in a hateful, harmful, or hurtful way.
I will hold accountable anyone who behaves in ways counter to this covenant.
Thank you. I'd like to invite the ladies of Uke back up if you would play a song for us. The one you weren't going to play, the second one of the two. or whatever you want to play. I'm going to switch this out. All right, let me. Pop it right out. Thank you.
Which one are we doing? Peace Precious. Okie dokie. One, two, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a wonderful feeling in the hearts and the minds in a world that is sick with blood and shame. And the battle for glory and the peace we will find when we lay down the sword and the flame. There'll be shouting and singing, there'll be joy everywhere. There'll be banners from every land unfurled. There'll be jubilant ringing of the bells everywhere when there's peace, precious peace in this world. When there's peace, precious peace in this world. When there's peace, precious peace in this world. There'll be shouting and singing, there'll be joy everywhere. When there's peace, precious peace in this world. There'll be no tears in this world. When there's peace, precious peace in this world. There'll be shouting and singing, there'll be joy everywhere. When there's peace, precious peace in this world. There'll be no tears of sorrow for our boys over there. No more bombs bursting loudly in the air. In the land of tomorrow, when all nations declare no more war in this world anymore. There'll be shouting and singing, there'll be joy everywhere. There'll be banners from every land unfurled. There'll be jubilant ringing of the bells everywhere. When there's peace, precious peace in this world. When there's peace, precious peace in this world. When there's peace, precious peace in this world. There'll be shouting and singing, there'll be joy everywhere. When there's peace, precious peace in this world. When there's peace, precious peace in this world. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies of Uke. We have a short reading by Alice Walker, and then you'll be up for the anthem, just to warn you. This is from Alice Walker's book, Everything We Love Can Be Saved.
It has become a common feeling, I believe, as we have watched our heroes falling over the years, that our own small stone of activism, which might not seem to measure up to the rugged boulders of heroism we have so admired, is a paltry offering toward the building of an edifice of hope. Many who believe this choose to withhold their offerings out of shame.
This is the tragedy of our world, says Alice Walker, for we can do nothing substantial toward changing our course on the planet, a destructive one, without rousing ourselves, individual by individual, and bringing our small, imperfect stones to the pile.
Sometimes our stones are, to us, misshapen, odd. Their color seems off, their singing comical and strange. Presenting them, we perceive our own imperfect nakedness, but also, paradoxically, their wholeness, the rightness of it. In the collective vulnerability of presence, we learn not to be afraid.
Even the smallest stone glistens with tears, yes, but also from the light of being seen and loved for simply being there. I would do the anthem.
I'd like to teach the world to sing. Oh, okay. We're very organized up here. It is off. Wow. Sure comes on with a bang. You might recognize this one from a Coca-Cola commercial years ago. We've revived it. We put some of our own words to it.
Have to find it.
Got it?
Check, check. Check, check, check. You know I like him. Thank you.
Why don't you count that? Make sure we can hear you.
1, 2, 3, 4. I'd like to teach the world a home and furnish it with love. Grow apple trees and honeybees and snow white turtle doves. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to hold it in my arms and keep it company.
Yes, love is alive. We can make it thrive. 'Cause
It's a real thing. I'd like to teach the world for once, standing hand in hand, and hear them echo through the hills for peace throughout the land. World. That's a song I hear. Let the world sing today. A song of praise. It's a ring I hear. It's a real thing. Just love is alive. We give it pride. 'Cause it's a real thing.
Bring you back up. Thank you, ladies of Uke. A little bit more, please, Ethan. And thank you, Ethan, for balancing two different sound systems, one of which he has access to and one of which he doesn't, and keeping the feedback down to a minimum. That's Ethan. That's our sound person. Thank you, Ethan. Today's readings from Alice Walker and that children's book by Wendy Madure and Daniel Egnius allow me to explain Unitarian Universalism to those of you who raised your hand at the beginning that might be newcomers to our denomination. We don't just draw inspiration from the Bible, the Quran, the Bhagavad Gita, or any single holy book. What we do is we draw inspiration from Alice Walker, from the words and the deeds of inspiring people, even from our own lived experience. We don't have a creed, nor do we require specific beliefs about divinity, but as you heard earlier, we are working on a community covenant to help us figure out how to be among one another. This month's theme has been the practice of joy, and we began the month with Reverend Sarah Osborne letting us know the universe loves us. Then Jess Hunt shared their trans joy with us. Last week, I talked about resurrection and rebirth as a constant cycle rather than a one-time event. On Earth Day and on Easter, we promised you miracles, even in the most troubling times. And this week, we bring you a tool to remember joy, to remember our connection with one another and with the planet, with this community, especially during those same troubling times. And since this is an all-ages service, my reflection will be both brief and interactive. So who can explain the concept of a touchstone? What is a touchstone? You raise your hand and I'm going to repeat your words. Yeah, Ross. Something that centers you. Thank you, Ross. Yeah. A reminder. Thank you. What's a touchstone mean to you? We are from the stars. I don't know who said that, but thank you. This is my grandmother's ring, my mother's mother, my mother who is with us. It's not my grandmother, but it does remind me of her. Her presence in the world, her sense of humor, how unconditionally she loved me, and how blessed I was to have someone like her loving me in this world. It also has the goddess of Venus in a shell, so it reminds me of my own belief that the earth is alive and is a living mother goddess. So a touchstone can mean multiple things. Lubna's stone with the smiley face on it reminded her she was not alone when she was afraid, and that she had a friend. The stone was her friend. By the end, she moves from needing the friend to giving the gift of friendship. Alice Walker's stones are both individual and collective. Walker reminds us that all our stones are needed to build that edifice of hope, even if we think they're not perfect. Each of the stones in this water that were put there remind us of a specific joy, a specific sorrow, a specific concern. But once they're in the water, we forget which one was for what, and they become collective joys and sorrows. The greeters at this point have been kind enough to say they will move amongst you, and what I would love for you to do is to take a stone, maybe take one that speaks with you. They're not all this big. These are the ones that I've been told are not choking hazards, so the big ones go to children. Those of you who can handle a choking hazard, there's much smaller stones for you. And I want you to do me a favor. I want you to take a stone, and I want you to take it home with you. If you don't want to take it home, you can put it in the water as you leave and give it back to the collective. But I want you to take a stone that speaks to you and put it somewhere that you will see it, next to your computer monitor, even on the little computer. If you have a laptop, might be a good place to do it. They have Sharpies with them, do our greeters, so if you like, you can draw the little smiley face on it. I especially want you to do that if you're going to put it back in the water, because then we'll have a memory of the smiley face story. When you see the stone, weeks from now, years from now, think of this moment right here, when we are together in this space on this day together, at this particular moment in history. Think about us. Think about this congregation. Remember, you're not alone. I'll come down there for the rest of this. Remember when I said stones can mean multiple things? Well, stones can also remind you that there is magic in the world. Does anyone here like magic tricks and has maybe, all right, remind me, Laura? You can't, but I can. I have one trick that I can do. Like anyone who's ever been around me and there are any children around who like seem like they need help, I will do this magic trick for them as I do for you. So this is Lubna's stone. Did you take a stone already? Okay. All right, I'm going to use yours because it's smaller. You have to hold on to Lubna's stone though. I am going to take this stone, I'm going to throw it up, and it's going to spin around in that fan and then come down perfectly into my hand. Well, yeah, I know. It sounds like it's not going to, but it will. And by doing this, I'm going to show you that magic is real. Barbara, can you hold the mic for a second? All right. Are you ready? All right. Up, and then spin around and come back. Okay? All right. So up, spin. Where did it go? Did you see it? Where do you think it is? Anyone know where is it? Left hand, yeah, well, okay. What? It's in Barbara's hair? That's very specific. Why would it? Whoa. How did you know it was in Barbara's hair? And at that point, the kids make that face. And I tell them the phrase, magic is real. Which it is. Do it again, do it again. That's what they say. Do it another one. When they're older, I can teach them the trick. Does anyone know sleight of hand and know what I did just then? No one does. A good magician never reveals his tricks, but I am fortunately not a good magician. So I'm going to share what just happened, which is when I transferred the stone to this, let's see if that works. When I transferred the stone to this hand, there's one not important thing I did, and that was I just sort of did this. I sort of slid over it with this hand. The more important thing I did was to look really interested at this hand. And so you followed my gaze. Can you hold this? You followed my gaze, and it went here, and the stone is still here. And then when I did something really dramatic, like throw it, I slipped it into this pocket and held this back up, which made it seem like it's still here. Then I can do the second level of the trick here. I looked around, I was busy with this hand, which made you look at this hand, and I was pulling it out here, and then this is called palming. When you do this, that's called palming, and then and you just choop. Now some kids, when they learn the trick, are like, you said magic is real. And I say, yeah. And now you get to be part of creating the magic if you can learn that trick. And then I give them like usually a smaller stone or a coin or something that I have, and I have them practice this part, I have them practice this part, and we're usually like waiting in a dentist office, so they have, or something, we're in some line, and so they have plenty of time to practice it. And some of the kids will really take to it, and they'll be like, oh, and they'll really learn it. And then they get to be a part of creating the magic. The magic is not that the magic is partly that the stone disappeared, but the magic is also when we're bored and waiting in line at the dentist, we can have this kind of interaction with one another. We can bring mystery, we can bring excitement, we can bring a special glow to the moment. So maybe whoever gets this stone will remember that, and that's what that touchstone will mean for you. What do your touchstones that you just took, what are you going to remember when you look at them? What specific thing? Or Jenna? Me? Thank you. What else? And I'm going to bring the microphone around. Yeah. That's how I got this job, is because I can do sleight of hand.
I'm going to Maine. I'll be back in December, but every time I look, I'll think of your church.
We'll be thinking of you too. We'll have you in our heart. What will you think of when you look at this stone? I'm going to bring the microphone to you. Yeah. Hi, Trish.
I would think of this community.
What will you think of? Yeah.
My stone is very smooth, and I'm just thinking about how much smoother my life is by being here.
I'm going to think about this little girl over here. I don't know where she is now, but yeah, I'm just going to think of that little girl.
I'm going to think of the magic that Ben makes every Sunday. Thank you.
Blush. I would say we make it together, but I'm also trying not to dodge your compliment.
Hi, I think of 2 years ago when my two grandchildren were here. They were 6 and 4 at the time, and you spent time after the service doing magic tricks with them. They still ask about you every time we talk on the phone.
The same one trick that I know.
Yeah.
This church is love to me. Pretty simple.
Yeah, the church is love. Thank you. The church is love. I get to keep this? Thank you. I'll put it in the water. One more? Earl.
This stone reminds me that this church and this congregation are one of the rocks in my life.
Thank you. Oh boy. Bondra. No. Nate, here you are.
Yeah, this will remind me that I have a home. I feel very home here. Thank you.
Can I ask you what your stone's going to mean to you, honey? You don't have to say, are you hiding? Okay. That's like, no, you can ask. Hey.
This stone has a date on it, 4/27/25, and on the other side it says UU, and this will remind me of the day I start my class in becoming a member.
So glad you're becoming a member, Debbie. One more thing. Touchstones don't have to be stones. They can be other objects like my grandmother's ring. They don't even have to be things. Sometimes a few musical notes evoke a longer musical piece. Da-da-da-dum. And words can be touchstones. In the movie The Princess Bride, Wesley says words that mean I love you, but what he actually says is, as you wish. Now, each week we say the short version of our community covenant. I would like for us to think of the short version as a touchstone for that longer version. And there's a link to the longer version and a QR code in your order of service. Just as I think of my grandmother when I touch her ring, when we say to dwell together in peace, I'd like us to think, I will celebrate diversity, inclusivity, and opportunities to learn and grow. When we say to seek the truth in love, I'd like us to think, I will approach differences of perspective and opinion with curiosity and patience. When we say to help one another, let's think, I will fulfill my commitments to this church, to this community, with kindness. Our community covenant is beautiful. Many of us here had a hand, most of us here, I think, had a hand in writing it and shaping it. But it is a lot to remember, and it's too long to say out loud every week. We can, however, read it with that QR code. We can, however, think of the words when we say the short version. We can use our small stones to build that edifice of hope and to comfort one another when comfort is needed. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. Amen, Ashe, and blessed be.
We eat in the sanctuary. The offering will now be given and received.
What's given freely we receive with great gratitude. Thank you. Please rise as you're willing and able for our closing hymn. It's number 100 in the gray hymnal, I've Got Peace Like a River.
In your hymnal, there are 4 verses. The last one is I've got pain like an arrow in my soul. We decided we didn't want to sing pain like an arrow, so when we get to the last one, we're going to sing hope like a wellspring.
Hope like a wellspring, okay.
Now we're going to do a magic trick. We're going to sing 2 different songs and make it sound like one. So listen real closely.
We did that last time, Vicki. Count us in.
1, 2, 3, 4. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace
like a river in my soul.
I've got peace
like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got hope like a wellspring. I've got hope like a wellspring. I've got hope like a wellspring in my soul. I've got hope like a wellspring. I've got hope like a wellspring. I've got hope like a wellspring in my soul. Please remain standing as we extinguish our chalice. We have dance moves for that too. Light of truth is this. Warmth of love is this. Fire of courage is this. Bianca will extinguish our chalice, and the words are in your order of service. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of love, or the fire of courage. These we carry in our hearts and out into the world. Hang out there for a second. Our worship will be over after the postlude, but our service does begin. Please join us for coffee hour in Gilmore. If you see someone not talking to anyone, maybe say hello to them. Many activities that we announced at the beginning are following worship today. I hope some of you will return here at noon for the UU history class. Now, we hope this time together has helped, will help you through your week, will help you remember you are not alone. The ladies of Uke will now play our postlude. Blessings, everyone. You may be seated.
It's a Woody Guthrie song. Sing along. It's called This Land Is Your Land.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. This land is her land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters, this land was made for you and me.
As I went walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me that endless skyway. I saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land.
From California to the New York Islands, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters, this land was made for you and me. I roamed and rambled, and I followed my footsteps to the sparkling sands of her diamond deserts, and all around me a voice was sounding. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters, this land was made for you and me.
When the sun was shining and I was strolling, and the wheat fields waving and the dust clouds rolling,
from California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. Nobody living can ever stop us as we go walking that freedom highway. Nobody living can make us turn back. This land was made for you and me. This land is yours, was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me.
Thank you, ladies of you. I need mine. I made a mistake. I forgot to say today is the food drive, and I have a whole speech about it, which is behind me. Many of you have brought food for the South Side Food Pantry. Thank you, Dick McRobert. My apologies. I don't know where you are, but my apologies. The kids were, after the Time for All Ages, going to bring these wagons down, and they're all set up to it, and I forgot to do that. If you would please bring your food items, and on your way to the coffee hour, if you would put them in there. Thank you for your forgiveness, and thanks for prompting me, Ross, and blessings, everyone. See you at coffee hour.